Hey band, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be covering chart 8, rhythm chart 8, and this is all about ties. So this is a new concept for us. We haven't done ties yet. These little curvy lines that you see here are ties. Ties can be above the note if the stem is going down, or they'll be underneath the note if your note stems are going or pointing up. So these are ties because ties look like slurs, but slurs are going to be two or more notes that are different notes. Ties are only two notes that are exactly the same note. So they're on the same line or the same space. So in this case, our notes are both on space number 3, and our little curvy line is tying them together. So what a tie does is it takes two separate values and it just joins them together. So it ties it together, kind of like you tie your shoes. It's now one thing. So in measure number 2, instead of two separate quarter notes, each getting one beat, we are now joining those two values together and it adds them together. So now instead of two separate beats, we have one note now that it's worth 2 counts. Now, the publisher could have written this as a half note. That's essentially what we're making this, is a half note. Now, in performance practice, you will not see it look like this inside of a measure. Ties are designed to be used going across bar lines. That's why they exist. So that's why if this were written in a real piece of music, it would show up here as a half note and not like this tie like it is. But for right now, as we're practicing them, we'll be practicing them within the confines of one measure, and then later we'll practice them going across the bar lines as they're intended to be used. So this now is going to be just exactly like a half note. I will say count 1, and then I'm just holding. So 1, 3, 4. Measure number 1 and measure 3 are just straight quarter notes. We're not going to be concerned about that right now. Measure number 4, we have another tie. So it's exactly like this tie. We just changed the position of it. So it's functioning as a half note value, but on counts 3 and 4. So I will say 1, 2, 3, as this is all now connected together with the tie. So let's count through line number 1. 4 beats per measure, down, up, set, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, does that make sense? If you're confused by that, go back and play that first portion of the video again. We're going to go on down to measure 13. So measure 13, I have a tie because this is the same line or same space in this case. So this is a tie, and it's between two notes. So we're joining a half note value to a quarter note. So a half note is worth 2 beats, quarter note is 1. So this is now a 3-beat value note. So it's like a dotted half note now. So 3 beats here, 1 beat there. So I would count this. 1, 4. Measure 14, we are joining the value of 2 half notes. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So this is just like a whole note now. 1. Measure 15 is interesting because the tie occurs in the middle of the measure. So this is joining 1 beat plus 1 beat. So this is a 2 count value now. So it's like a half note. 1, 2, 4. And measure 16, I have a half note on count 1, and I'm joining 2 quarter notes together. So this is going to function as a second half note in this measure. So 1, 3. Okay, let's put this line together. Sit tall. Down, up, ready, and count. 1, 4, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3. How'd you do? Okay, if this is making sense, let's go on down to line 25. We're going to mix it up a little bit more. Now we're going to add in some eighth notes. So measure 25 is easy peasy. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know how to do that. Measure 26. Now we're tying a quarter note value to an eighth note. This is a little more challenging. The notes that are going to speak here are count 1, and then the tay of count 2. So if you're tapping your foot, this is going to go down, up, down, and then you're going to speak the tay when your foot comes back up on count 2. So it looks like this. 1, 1, tay, 3, 4. Let's do that again. 1, tay, 3, 4. Again and go. 1, tay, 3, 4. Measure 27 is just quarter notes and eighth notes. We've got that. Measure 28, count 1, 2, 3 is tied to the downbeat of count 4. So this is going to function just like this one did in this measure. So this is getting a down, up, down of your foot, and the tay is going to speak here on count 4. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, tay. So my foot is going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, tay. So this tay is when my foot comes up on count 4, the tay of 4. All right, I'm going to put this together for you. Here it goes. Down, up, ready, and count. 1, 2, tay, 3, 4. 1, tay, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, tay. 1, 2, 3, tay. All right, keep rolling that video back until you're comfortable with line number 25. Good luck as you practice. We'll see you on the next chart.